The controversy surrounding disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein has resurfaced once again after a recent prison interview in which he attempted to challenge the narrative surrounding the many allegations of sexual misconduct against him. His comments quickly ignited outrage across Hollywood, particularly among the women who previously accused him of harassment and assault. Among the most vocal critics was actress Rosanna Arquette, who publicly responded to Weinstein's remarks with a blunt statement: "Facts, the assaults happened." Her response reflects a broader determination among survivors and supporters of the #MeToo movement to prevent any attempt to rewrite the history of the scandal that shook the entertainment industry in 2017. Arquette's statement did more than simply dispute Weinstein's claims. It reaffirmed the experiences of dozens of women who came forward over the years, many at great personal and professional risk. Nearly a decade after the scandal exploded into public view, the debate over accountability, truth, and justice continues. The prison interview that sparked a firestorm. The latest controversy began when Weinstein, currently incarcerated, participated in a prison interview where he disputed or minimized several of the accusations made against him. In the interview, he suggested that some of the women who accused him had misrepresented their interactions with him or later reinterpreted encounters that he claimed were consensual. The interview quickly circulated across media outlets and social platforms, reigniting discussions about the former producer's crimes and the women who accused him. Critics said Weinstein's remarks echoed the same arguments he has made for years, that his relationships with women in Hollywood were consensual and that the allegations against him were exaggerated or misunderstood. For many survivors, hearing those arguments again was deeply painful. Rosanna Arquette responds. Arquette, one of the earliest Hollywood figures to speak publicly about Weinstein's alleged behavior, reacted swiftly. She rejected Weinstein's claims and emphasized that the testimonies from survivors have remained consistent over time. Her response was direct and unequivocal. According to Arquette, attempts to cast doubt on survivors only reinforce the harm they endured. She stressed that the evidence and the many accounts from women across the industry paint a clear picture of Weinstein's actions. Arquette has long been a vocal supporter of the #MeToo movement and has repeatedly spoken about the importance of believing survivors. Her statement after the prison interview was not only a defense of her own experience but also a defense of the many women who came forward with similar stories. Arquette's encounter with Weinstein. Arquette's history with Weinstein dates back to the 1990s, when she was a well-known actress working in Hollywood. At the time, Weinstein was one of the most powerful figures in the film industry, capable of launching or derailing careers. Arquette has previously described a meeting with Weinstein that took place in a hotel room. She said he attempted to initiate a sexual encounter, which she refused. The situation made her uncomfortable, and she quickly left. According to Arquette, rejecting Weinstein's advances may have negatively affected her career. She has said she believes she was effectively blacklisted from certain opportunities afterward. This claim has been echoed by several other actresses who allege that turning down Weinstein's advances resulted in lost roles or stalled careers. The 2017 revelations. The Weinstein scandal exploded into public view in October 2017, when investigative journalists published reports detailing decades of allegations against the producer. Soon after the reports were released, dozens of women came forward with their own stories. Eventually, nearly 100 women publicly accused Weinstein of sexual harassment, assault, or rape. Among the women who spoke out were major Hollywood figures such as Angelina Jolie and Gwyneth Paltrow. Their testimonies revealed a pattern of behavior that many said had been an open secret in Hollywood for years. The revelations triggered a massive cultural reckoning and led to the rise of the global #MeToo movement, which encouraged survivors in many industries to share their experiences. Weinstein's fall from power. Before the allegations surfaced, Weinstein was considered one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood. He co-founded the influential studio Miramax and later helped lead the Weinstein Company. During his career, Weinstein was responsible for producing or distributing numerous acclaimed films that won major awards, including multiple Academy Awards. However, the 2017 revelations caused his empire to collapse almost overnight. Weinstein was fired from his own company, expelled from professional organizations, and widely shunned by the industry. The Weinstein Company itself eventually filed for bankruptcy. Criminal convictions. The allegations against Weinstein eventually led to criminal trials. In 2020, a jury in New York convicted him of rape and sexual assault. The verdict was widely seen as a historic moment in the fight against sexual abuse by powerful individuals. Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison. The conviction represented a major victory for survivors who had long feared that Weinstein's wealth and influence might shield him from accountability. However, even after the conviction, Weinstein has continued to deny that he committed sexual assault. Survivors push back. Arquette's response to Weinstein's recent interview reflects a broader determination among survivors to push back whenever he attempts to challenge the accusations against him. For many women who spoke out during the #MeToo movement, maintaining the truth of their experiences is essential. Advocates argue that when perpetrators publicly deny wrongdoing, it can create confusion or doubt among audiences unfamiliar with the full details of the case. By responding publicly, survivors hope to ensure that the historical record remains clear. The emotional toll. Speaking publicly about abuse often comes with a significant emotional burden. Many of Weinstein's accusers have described the process of sharing their stories as both empowering and painful. While speaking out helped bring attention to systemic problems in the entertainment industry, it also forced survivors to relive traumatic experiences. Arquette has acknowledged that responding to Weinstein's comments years later can be exhausting. However, she has also said that remaining silent would feel like allowing misinformation to spread unchecked. Hollywood after Weinstein. The Weinstein scandal forced Hollywood to confront long-standing problems involving abuse of power and workplace harassment. In the years since the revelations, many entertainment companies have implemented new policies designed to prevent similar abuses. These measures include mandatory workplace training on harassment, confidential reporting systems, greater oversight of workplace behavior. Despite these changes, some advocates believe that significant challenges remain. Power imbalances between influential producers and aspiring actors still exist, and critics argue that cultural change takes time. Arquette has repeatedly emphasized that the industry must continue addressing these issues rather than assuming the problem disappeared with Weinstein's downfall. Public reaction to the interview. Weinstein's prison interview sparked widespread criticism from commentators, journalists, and activists. Many observers said his remarks reflected a familiar strategy used by individuals accused of misconduct, attempting to discredit victims or reinterpret events in a more favorable light. Supporters of the survivors praised Arquette for speaking out again, noting that her response helped reaffirm the credibility of the women who came forward. The public reaction demonstrated that even years later, the Weinstein scandal continues to evoke strong emotions. The legacy of the #MeToo movement. The impact of the #MeToo movement extends far beyond Weinstein himself. The movement changed the way society discusses sexual harassment and assault, encouraging victims in many industries to share their experiences. It also highlighted the importance of accountability, particularly for powerful individuals who had previously operated with little oversight. Arquette has often described the movement as a turning point for survivors. Her response to Weinstein's latest comments underscores her belief that the fight for accountability must continue. Why survivors continue speaking out. For many of Weinstein's accusers, the goal has never been revenge or publicity. Instead, they say their primary goal is to ensure that the truth is acknowledged. Survivors often feel a responsibility to speak out not only for themselves but also for others who may still be afraid to come forward. Arquette's statement reflects that perspective. By reiterating that the assaults happened, she sought to reinforce the experiences of dozens of women who shared similar stories. A story that still resonates. Nearly a decade after the scandal first erupted, the story of Harvey Weinstein remains one of the most significant cultural reckonings of the modern era. The case exposed systemic issues within the entertainment industry and sparked conversations about power, consent, and workplace safety. For survivors like Arquette, the fight to preserve the truth of those experiences remains ongoing. Conclusion. When Rosanna Arquette responded to Harvey Weinstein's prison interview, she delivered a message that was both simple and powerful. The facts have not changed. Her statement served as a reminder that the testimonies of survivors, the evidence presented in court, and the convictions that followed all form part of an established record. Attempts to rewrite that history, she suggested, cannot erase what happened. For many people, the Weinstein scandal will forever symbolize the moment when survivors' voices finally overcame decades of silence. And as Arquette's response shows, those voices remain determined to ensure that the truth is never forgotten.